Have you ever wondered why certain people can so easily push our buttons? Imagine transforming each frustrating encounter into an opportunity for personal growth. In today's discussion, we'll delve deep into the essence of Stoic philosophy to explore how we can harness everyday challenges to our benefit and grow through each vexing interaction. Join us to uncover practical strategies that will not only enhance your relationships, but also reshape your approach to conflicts and setbacks. Ready? 1. Human nature and the persistence of irritating people. Ever thought about why, throughout history and across cultures, there are always those individuals who seem to effortlessly aggravate us? From ancient Stoic thinkers like Zeno to Seneca, dealing with annoying and frustrating people has been a perennial theme in our human saga. But why is this so? It mainly stems from the vast diversity of personalities, values, and expectations that define us as humans. Each individual, with their unique traits, brings a different viewpoint to the table, sometimes leading to unavoidable conflicts. To begin, it's essential to recognize the roots of our irritation. It often emerges when our expectations clash with the reality of others' behaviors. We all have a notion of how things ought to be, and when someone defies these norms, it sparks frustration. Upon reflection, these moments act as mirrors to our own expectations, prompting us to consider whether they might be overly rigid. Viewing irritating people as unintentional mentors offers a transformative perspective. Each interaction is a chance to cultivate patience and self-awareness. For example, in a meeting, rather than being upset with a colleague who interrupts, view it as an opportunity to practice diplomacy and enhance your communication skills. Imagine if we all saw these annoying encounters not as burdens, but as chances for personal growth. What if we regarded each challenging interaction as an invitation to practice patience, tolerance, and understanding? With this new outlook, we start to appreciate these experiences not merely as tests of our endurance, but as genuine lessons in humanity. Everyone we meet carries their own story, fears, and aspirations that influence their actions. By approaching each situation with empathy and understanding, we can turn even the most irritating encounters into moments of connection and learning. So why not start viewing these daily challenges as opportunities to become more empathetic and resilient versions of ourselves? By doing so, we not only manage everyday stress more effectively, but also contribute to a more harmonious and compassionate world. And perhaps we might even inspire those who irritate us to reflect on their behavior. Now I ask you, are you ready to transform your next frustrating encounter into an opportunity for growth? Chapter 2. Rising above others' cruelty or pettiness. How often do we find ourselves in situations where someone's harshness or small-mindedness attempts to derail us or sway us from our core principles? Ideally, everyone would operate with decency and respect, but as we all know, the real world frequently presents a stark contrast. This brings us to a crucial question. How can we maintain our true self and genuine behavior when faced with such adversity? First and foremost, it's vital to acknowledge that the capability to remain unaffected by negative influences is a testament to inner strength. Encountering pettiness or cruelty might tempt us to retaliate similarly. Yet, it's precisely in these moments that our character faces its greatest test. So, my Stoic friends, what strategies can we employ to uphold our integrity? Let's consider a few key approaches. 1. Self-awareness. Stay conscious of your emotions and reactions. Identifying how you feel when faced with negativity is the initial step in ensuring those emotions don't control your actions. 2. Response over reaction. There's a crucial distinction between reacting and responding. Reacting is typically impulsive and emotional, whereas responding is deliberate and measured. Pause, take a breath, and choose a response that represents your true self, rather than mirroring the provocations of the situation. 3. Guidance from values. Let your personal values guide you. Whenever you're unsure, ask yourself, does this action reflect my values? If not, it likely isn't the course you want to pursue. 4. Promoting positivity. Actively choose to foster positivity in your interactions. This not only boosts your own well-being, but can also positively affect your surroundings. 5. Seeking support. Never underestimate the importance of social support. Discussing your experiences with friends, family, or even a counselor can provide fresh insights and reinforce your resolve to remain true to yourself. By opting not to be swayed by negativity, you safeguard your mental and emotional health and become a beacon for others. Your ability to stay composed and respond with integrity can motivate those around you to follow suit. This is the essence of leading by example. In conclusion, while we can't dictate the actions of others, we hold absolute power over our responses. Each choice in this regard not only defines us, but also shapes who we aspire to be. So, when next confronted with cruelty or small-mindedness, ponder this. What kind of person do I choose to be in this moment? Chapter 3. Embracing challenges. The obstacle is the way. Have you ever been caught in a scenario where it seems like someone is purposefully making your life more difficult? Whether it's a coworker, a family member, or even a stranger, these challenging interactions often feel like barriers. However, what if we shifted our perspective and saw these obstacles as opportunities for personal growth? This idea embodies the Stoic principle: the obstacle is the way. This Stoic philosophy teaches us that each challenge presents a chance to develop. When we encounter difficult people, it's actually an opportunity to practice patience, empathy, and assertiveness, key virtues that enrich our lives. How do we practice these virtues? 1. Patience. In the face of challenging individuals, patience is more than a virtue. It's essential. It teaches us to manage our reactions and understand that some situations unfold over time. 2. Empathy. Viewing conflicts from the other person's perspective can radically change how we perceive the situation. Reflect on what the other person might be experiencing that leads them to act in a difficult manner. 3. Assertiveness. This involves expressing your needs and boundaries clearly and respectfully. Being assertive is about ensuring your voice is heard while respecting others, not about being aggressive. For instance, consider you're collaborating on a project with a colleague who consistently opposes your ideas. Rather than becoming frustrated or giving up, see this as a chance to enhance your negotiation and communication skills. Look for ways to incorporate their feedback and foster open dialogue, or think about a neighbor who constantly complains. Instead of dodging confrontations, use each interaction as practice for your diplomatic skills and maintaining composure under pressure. What's the long-term impact? By adopting this mindset, you not only evolve personally, but also help cultivate a more positive atmosphere around you. Every virtue practiced lays another brick in the foundation of a more compassionate and resilient community. Therefore, the next time you face a difficult person, remember, this isn't merely a hurdle, it's your pathway. This challenge is a disguised opportunity that, if embraced, can impart profound and transformative life lessons. Chapter 4. Treatment of others and response to undesirable behavior. In our daily lives, we encounter a variety of behaviors that may be seen as undesirable or difficult to manage, whether it's a lack of politeness in traffic or significant disagreements at work or at home. These situations can test our patience and our perspective on humanity. However, how should we react to such behaviors without becoming cynical or dismissive of others? It's essential to recognize that the actions of others often stem from their own internal battles, fears, or insecurities. Understanding this does not excuse negative behavior, but it does provide a viewpoint that can help us maintain our empathy. How to handle undesirable behavior with stoicism. Practice empathy. To practice empathy does not mean to passively endure everything. It means striving to comprehend the reasons behind others' actions. This understanding can alleviate personal frustration and allow for a more effective and composed response. Communicate clearly and choose your battles. Not every negative behavior warrants a reaction. Sometimes, the best action is inaction, saving our energy and emotional health for more important matters. For example, consider a coworker who consistently makes negative remarks during meetings. Rather than responding with annoyance, consider pulling them aside to discuss privately how their words impact you and the team. Offer suggestions for more positive forms of communication. Similarly, if you face rudeness in a service situation, instead of retaliating, remember that the individual might be experiencing a challenging day. Opting to respond with kindness could potentially improve their mood and your own. Each interaction offers an opportunity to reaffirm our belief in the inherent goodness of people. By choosing to respond with integrity and compassion, we foster an atmosphere that encourages mutual respect and kindness. This not only betters our immediate interactions, but also nurtures a more empathetic and respectful society. Facing undesirable behaviors without succumbing to cynicism is an act of strength and resilience. By adopting empathetic and assertive strategies, we strengthen our belief in humanity and empower ourselves to positively shape the interactions we encounter. Remember, every action is significant, and your response might just spark a chain of positive change. Chapter 5. Developing Constructive Indifference. The concept of constructive indifference introduces a profoundly liberating and practical approach. Have you ever pondered how often you've allowed yourself to be disturbed by trivialities or the opinions of others that, in reality, have little impact on your life's direction? Constructive indifference is not about disregarding the world or detaching from significant issues. It's about strategically allocating your energy. Consider your attention as a valuable resource, akin to money. Would you want to spend this precious asset on things that yield no returns? Take, for instance, a workplace filled with diverse opinions. If every remark or critique irritates you, how much energy will you have left at the end of the day? By cultivating a degree of indifference towards non-constructive comments, you conserve energy for the projects and interactions that truly matter. This mindset also significantly benefits our emotional health. When we release our grip on every minor mistake or harsh word aimed at us, we carve out a peaceful niche in our minds. This newfound tranquility allows us to concentrate on personal growth, our core values, and what genuinely brings us joy. Consider this: which areas of your life could improve with a dose of constructive indifference? Reflect on how this practice could free up more energy to focus on your long-term ambitions and nurture truly meaningful relationships. Adopting this form of indifference does not mean becoming emotionless or insensitive. Instead, it's about engaging more deliberately in our own lives, choosing not to let external disturbances disrupt our inner calm. It's an act of self-care and respect. I encourage you to experiment with constructive indifference. Observe the shifts that occur when you consciously choose not to be swayed by the inconsequential. It's a journey of discovery and empowerment, leading towards a more focused and serene existence. What steps will you take to begin this transformation today? 6. Maintaining an expanded perspective. When we explore the theme of maintaining an expanded perspective, we're talking about a vital strategy for preserving our emotional equilibrium. Imagine standing at the heart of a hurricane. Everything around you appears chaotic and uncontrollable. Now, envision yourself rising above this tumult, viewing the hurricane from a higher vantage point. Suddenly you recognize that this hurricane is merely a small component of a larger, more tranquil world. This metaphor demonstrates the value of adopting a wider viewpoint in challenging situations. Facing difficulties or dealing with challenging individuals can easily make us lose sight of the bigger picture, concentrating instead on the immediate intensity and specifics of the moment. Yet by broadening our perspective and considering the larger context, we often discover that many adversities are transient and, more often than not, less critical than they appear. Consider, for instance, a conflict at work. In the throes of the moment, every remark or critique might feel like a direct assault. However, embracing a broader view might reveal that the tension is likely a result of others' stress or looming deadlines, rather than a direct assessment of your skills or value. This approach is also beneficial when handling difficult individuals. From a close range, someone's behavior might appear entirely vexing or objectionable. But stepping back to consider potential reasons behind their actions, like personal insecurities, domestic issues, or inadequate communication skills, allows us to respond with greater empathy and reduced irritation. Moreover, maintaining an expanded perspective fosters resilience, recognizing that challenges are merely parts of a larger cycle and that each experience aids our growth, bolsters our capacity to approach future hardships with increased serenity and assurance. So how can you start to adopt this broader perspective in your daily life? You might begin by noticing when you're becoming overly fixated on details and actively remind yourself to zoom out for a wider view. This shift not only diminishes the emotional weight of situations, but also paves the way for fresh solutions and insights. How might you apply this new viewpoint today? 7. The benefit of the doubt and mutual understanding. Imagine a typical scenario. You're navigating traffic after an exhausting day at work and suddenly someone cuts you off. What's your initial reaction? Perhaps frustration or anger, maybe accompanied by an impulsive gesture? Now picture this. What if that person was rushing to a hospital, desperate to get updates on a loved one's condition? Could this shift your view of the incident? This scenario encapsulates the benefit of the doubt, a potent exercise in empathy and mutual understanding. It involves recognizing that we all possess similar imperfections, desires, and fears. By extending this benefit to others, we not only relieve our own stress, but also foster a more serene and supportive environment. Consider how you'd feel if someone extended you the benefit of the doubt during a tough moment, perhaps when you slipped up at work or spoke out of turn under pressure. It's comforting, right? Why not offer the same courtesy to others? And not just in big crises, but also in the day-to-day blunders and miscommunications that occur. Reflect on this. When was the last time you approached someone with understanding rather than judgment? Practicing the benefit of the doubt not only strengthens our relationships, but also contributes to our personal growth, making us more patient, tolerant, and fundamentally, more humane. I encourage you to weave this principle into your everyday life. The next time you're faced with a frustrating situation, pause for a moment. Take a breath. Then ask yourself, what if there's a valid reason behind this behavior? This simple query can shift your reaction and profoundly alter how you interact with the world around you. 8. Responding with patience and joy. Imagine one of those days where nothing goes your way. Your alarm fails to ring, you spill coffee on your favorite shirt, and traffic is a nightmare. In these moments, it's natural to feel irritated and discouraged, isn't it? But what if there's a more uplifting and effective way to handle such situations? Responding with patience and joy offers an invigorating alternative. This approach doesn't just alter your personal experience, it also casts a positive ripple effect on those around you. Everyone values the presence of someone who exudes positivity and calm, even in the midst of turmoil. Embodying these qualities can dramatically enrich both your life and the lives of others. Think of patience as a muscle that gets stronger with regular exercise. When you choose to stay calm in trying times, you're training your mind to handle future challenges with grace. And joy, it's infectious. A simple smile or a gentle word can significantly uplift someone else's day. Consider making this a personal challenge. The next time things don't go according to plan, respond with a smile and view the situation as a chance to enhance your patience. Observe how this shift in attitude not only lifts your spirits, but also positively influences those around you. Here's an idea. Designate the upcoming week as your day of patience and joy. On this day, make a conscious effort to meet every difficulty with a smile and a serene demeanor. At day's end, reflect on how this approach affected your interactions and overall mood. Why not start now? Altering how we respond to daily setbacks can not only brighten our own day, but also contribute to a brighter world. Let's embrace and spread a bit more patience and joy, one day at a time. Chapter 9. Practicing healthy personal boundaries. Establishing personal boundaries is crucial for our well-being and growth. But what exactly are personal boundaries, and how can we set them effectively and respectfully? Imagine personal boundaries as an invisible fence that marks the limits of what you find acceptable in your interactions with others. These boundaries are about more than just rejecting requests. They're about recognizing and expressing your own values, personal space, and emotional needs. When properly set and honored, these boundaries foster mutual respect, paving the way for healthier, more balanced relationships. You might be asking, how can I start setting these boundaries effectively? The first step is self-awareness. Identify your crucial boundaries and understand why they matter to you. This could be about your personal time, space, emotional thresholds, or expectations of respectful treatment. Once you understand your boundaries, the next step is to communicate them clearly. This might be challenging, particularly if you're not accustomed to standing up for yourself. However, effective communication is essential. If someone encroaches on your space or treats you disrespectfully, be honest and direct. For instance, if a coworker continually interrupts your personal time, you might say, "I appreciate our collaboration, but I reserve the time after 6 p.m. for my family. We can revisit this topic during office hours tomorrow." But how can you enforce these boundaries without feeling guilty or seeming selfish? Cultivating a positive attitude towards self-care is key. Remember, setting boundaries isn't about pushing people away. It's about honoring your own needs. By establishing and maintaining clear boundaries, you not only look after yourself, but also instruct others on how to engage with you in a respectful and considerate manner. Be ready to defend your boundaries as well. Not everyone will respect your limits right away, and that's where being consistent is vital. If your boundaries are ignored, don't shy away from reasserting them. It might be tough initially, but with time, people will understand and respect your need for these limits. Are you prepared to take this step toward a healthier, more respected self? Remember, setting boundaries isn't about creating barriers. It's about fostering healthy interactions. Let's take action today to define and express our needs with confidence and clarity. After all, respecting yourself is the first step to gaining respect from others. Chapter 10. Connectivity and human interdependence. Have you ever paused to consider how interconnected we truly are? The concept of ***, connectivity and human interdependence ***, reveals that none of us exists in isolation. Each action we take, every word we utter, can influence not just those immediately around us, but also broader communities and ecosystems worldwide. Visualize our world as an elaborate web, with each strand intricately linked to countless others, both seen and unseen. This network encompasses not only human beings, but all life forms and Earth's natural systems. When one segment of this network is impacted, either positively or negatively, the effects ripple across the entire web. So how can we cultivate an awareness of this interconnectedness in our everyday lives? It begins with acknowledging our collective duty to impact our world positively. This involves making mindful choices that benefit not just ourselves, but also our broader community. For instance, opting for eco-friendly products or adopting sustainable practices demonstrates respect for our connection with the environment. Moreover, contributing to the common good strengthens the ties that bind us, whether it's through volunteer work, community engagement, or simply showing kindness and empathy towards others. Every positive interaction sends ripples through the network, reinforcing our shared bonds. Now, I invite you to reflect. How are your daily actions influencing this web of interdependence? Are they bolstering community ties and fostering positive outcomes? Or are there areas where you could make improvements? It's vital for each of us to consider how we can make more effective contributions. Grand gestures aren't necessary. Even small, consistent actions can make a significant difference. What will your next step be? How will you enhance the network of connections in your life? Remember, every one of us plays an essential role. Together, we can forge a fairer, more sustainable, and compassionate society. Let's start this journey together, appreciating and cherishing our interconnectedness. Now that you're aware of how your interactions shape the world, what change are you ready to initiate? Share your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.